Stop it, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuko Was Kaiju Boy from Pacific Rim, the Black. So, in this What If, or you who all probably don't know who I'm talking about, it's this kid right here. Kaiju Boy. Yeah. Spoilers ahead. He basically transforms into a bigger version of himself. So in this What If, or in this, universe thing that I am creating, he was just young. He was about 3 years old. And of course, his mother and his father, or his mother was a pro hero, similar to her, and her father was, or Zuko's father was a greatest mind in the world. So, sometimes he fixes Zuko's machine. Like AKA, if the toy is not functioning properly, it turns it, or he fixes it. But one day he was he made a machine so that turns everyone into, with or without quirks, into kaijus. Basically, these monsters. So, the machine activated, or actually Zuko, or it was his hand, or father, Horikoshi, he says, okay, do we have any test subjects? No, sir. Flippin' damn it. As he's cussing. But his son walks in. Arcadian? Yes, I'm fine, son. It's just doing, work. So, as he got or actually his mother, or actually one of the scientists, as he's walking away, trying to clear his head, but the other scientist, that is Bakugo's man, decides to do something really stupid. He took Zuko and used him as a test subject. As he was once it activated, it slowly alternates his power. AKA he's not quirkless in this one. No. He has a quirk of self-regeneration and self-revival and thought communication. And he also has imagination quirk. So, yeah. But they put him in this weird substance thing. And ends up transforming him. Like, his father was trying to stop it from... And it was too late. As he... And then the machine exploded, transforming everyone that was in the lab. Or the lab was away from Japan, and Inko was in Japan, as Sashi was running away. So, yeah. So he's mad at Bakugo's dad. Because he says, "That was my son, you jerk." As all the, like, doctors, scientists, and policemen that was on that island thing transformed into, like, these and into kaijus. But Zuko, who was a kaiju. So he's literally, or he lost his memories, but, or it's actually like concussion. Yeah. Like, you ever get hit in the head and so hard that, like, what the heck happened? Kind? Yeah. Zuko went through it. As he went to Japan. As all the other kaijus went to Japan too. And, like, everywhere else. As, yeah, the pro heroes were and pro villains, or high-end villains, actually, or villains agreed to help. So, yeah. So, Zuko remembers who he is, as he's, like, he dodged mountain ladies. Sorry about that. My friend was grabbing her food. So, yeah. Zuko remembers, and he went right past Mountain Lady that he was, or actually Mountain Lady was battling, but ends up going after the kaiju, and all the kaijus that are like what Zuko is, has like these pods inside of them, inside of their, like, chest. So, yeah. Zuko ran past pro heroes, villains, and went right to that kaiju, dodging his attacks and, like opening that creature's chest up, and, like, reaches in, grabs it, and like grabs this, pulls it out, and sets it on the side of a building, or like on top of a building. As he walks away, no fighting, just him walking away. As the pro heroes and the villains are like, that's just weird. As All Might and Inko were also obstructed to like wear these like head mounting cameras things as to follow that creature. As he follows, or actually that creature went back to his home, and when they went to inside, they see him just sitting there, and I'm making my version of the kaiju Zuku one has two tails, two twin tails, kind of like what this is, but on whole nother level. So yeah, Nezu is like, oh, what is he doing? As yeah, he all thought Zuko was dead. And because even, yeah, they thought Zuko was dead. Because that explosion. When he was, or at first, before I get too ahead of myself, he sat down. Now, he was looking at, or was looking at this, and he had an imaginary friend version of himself walking and like fixing his toy. So yeah, and on that other note, he also had, or because he was 3 years old, and his sister was like, they were born, or actually his sister was not even a year old. So yeah, before then 4 years have passed. Zuko is now 7 years old, if he was in his human state. And his sister is now a, where is she? A 4 years old, and she got her quirk checked. And yeah, she didn't know about her brother until like she's had these odd dreams. When she remembers that her parents told her that your brother is dead. These kaijus killed him. And yeah, the cave thing, was not so far. So yeah, she walked, or like one day she walked all the way to the cave, and of course All Might and Inko was there, but they were like, "What is she doing? She's gonna get herself killed." As yeah, she had no emotion. As yeah, but then of course, she remembered, or she always had those dreams of him saying, or of her brother saying, "Come on, little sister, come on, find me. It's hide and seek." Oh, and big brother, find me. As she literally was like walking thing, like mind controlled, but he turns around, or only thing that he had was like that toy and the old tapes that he had. He watched those things over and over as he remembers all of that. As his sister approaches him, like what of course, he actually touched her brother, his nose. As, yeah, he put his one finger on her cheek. As he's like, as his telepathy told her, or actually he told her that, "Guess you found me." As he, of course, at the hero's base, they're like, mountain lady's like trying to figure out something. And then as she's immediately asking like, "Okay, who's that kid, or who's that kaiju that dipped right past me and all of us?" Went right to that kaiju specifically. As she's like getting upset. So yeah, Dobby is like, I think he's not just was the only one that kaiju went after. Yeah, I'm gonna go into a little bit of details of it. Before, or yeah, he actually, when he took that thing out of that Nomu's chest, or that kaiju's thing, he took the carcass of it all the way to his thing, and he basically ate it. And like, yeah. Yeah. only thing, or that was like, they could see like the bones of other dead kaijus. As Zuko heard that, as he goes, of course, actually he calmed down when his sister says calm down. There's probably someone there. As All Might shows up and Inko, as he's ready to attack him. But Humi says, easy now, brother. They're just here to, who, like, calm you down, eh? As, yeah, at when they had dash cam things, the camera room, Nezu says, okay, this young girl is a sister to that creature. As, yeah, they were basically trying to figure it out. As Midnight was like trying to think, like, who would this girl be? Why is she hooked to the... As he looks at All Might, and he didn't like charge, he walked so that to him, as he's tilt his head, as Zumi is like, this is All Might, Zuko. Actually, this is All Might, big brother. So, please, respect him. As he blows like wind out as he walks away, going and looking at his toy thing. Like, he used 2 fingers to spin the hinge thing. That one. That top. Yeah. As he... Yeah. He didn't kill everybody. He was... Of course, Zumi is like... No. Oh. As Inko says, well, you should be at school. Yeah. But... Or actually, they evacuated the school because of kaiju's attacks. Too many. So, yeah. So she says, and of course, her brother, of course, he made a hologram of himself walking on 2 legs, as he's like, no, sister. As Inko sees it's Zuko, her son. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Of course, Inko sees her son. Literally right in front of her. Of it. As she's also can talk to him. So yeah. So Horikoshi was, whatever his name is, or that creature walked, or actually Zuko, hologram Zuko, that's his imaginary friend is, told them to come with him. As he points to like the movie theater that's big enough to put 2 kaijus in. Because these things are big. Yeah, so, yeah. So the movie player, or played what happened back then, of him inside, or they could hear Bakugo's father's voice in the background saying, this is the new experiment thing. Well, we didn't have any test subjects, but my friend's son is good enough candidate. So let's try it out. How do you feel? Or they see machine activated as then that happened. How do you feel? Well, it's weird, but as the kaiju was, yeah, he was, of course, that machine, or actually he transformed into a kaiju and destroyed that machine, and it overloaded the machine. Yeah, and all the, or he was the one that caused it. So yeah, Sashi, Bakugo's dad, and ran back to Japan. So yeah, Zuko's is basically one who caused it, as he's tearing up. As Almi knows now how his favorite friend is. So yeah, Almi says, well, you weren't the one caused it, so you got affected by it. Not, yeah, so, yeah. Inko, who is tearing up because she couldn't believe that her son is this kaiju. Even, heck, Zumi is trying to, she tells Zuko that he needs to calm down and, try to remember who he was. So, yeah, he calms down as he, converts back into his human state. As he was, walking towards them. And but Zuko was different kind. He wasn't in like those pods. He was actual kaiju. Yeah. He's basically one tough cookie. Yeah. So, and his body has been modified. Like, his quirks are now fused into his body. And he became... Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He became like a buffed one. As he... Because those years of eating like carcasses or like meat off of kaijus, he really like looked like he grown up. Sorry about that. I had a cup of coffee. So yeah, after that, the whole shenanigans, he came out of the cave, walked like a human being, as, yeah, Nezu was waiting. So, actually, the government... Where is he? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Sorry if I talk so fast. Government decided to try to kill off that thing. As he tilts his head, and as he says, huh. As All Might says, they're trying to kill that. They're trying to kill you. Who? Oh, Zuko. As, yeah, he says, well then, let's keep rolling the ball. As, yeah, Nezu, who actually convinced the government to go, ahead and teach a boy thing. Yeah, he ends up got accepted to UA. And the government was gonna actually turn him into a weapon to destroy the humanity, or all those kaijus. But Zuko is not having it. So, yeah, he remembers his old friend Bakugo, his sister, as, yeah. Of course, Mountain Lady was at UA, as she says, as she turns and looks at All Might and says, why is there that kid here? Or, he looks like a man. Why is that man here? As All Might says, well, that man is the one that you failed to kill. As she's like, hey, he's zipped right past me. Or that Nomu passed me. As All Might points to Zuko, as he, yeah, when she looks at All Might, or no, when she looked at Zuko, she now as she says, wait, so you're, or he's the kaiju that zipped right past me? as yeah, he says yeah, but I think or we figured something out as yeah, actually during those years of him hunting down other kaijus, ripping them out or ripping those out of kaijus, he actually had a stash as he tells All Might that he has a dash in the cave thing. Only I do know where it is. As he runs back, he was a lot faster. Someone without a speed quirk thing, like kind of like Tenya Hens or Ida's or like any speedsters couldn't even catch up because he ran all the way back. Huh? And or Nezu says, here, read this, Zuko. As he says, it's custom built, so, yeah. So, yeah. He runs all the way back to his cave thing, and he went to the area, and the dash cam, or all the pro heroes that saw or looked through the, like, camera lens, saw, like, thousands and thousands of these things. These tubes. With men, women, and children. As he's telling them that I do not kill for joy of it. As he even, as the government was looking at Drew, and they see, like, those humans, but they're just in the pods. They're not like what that guy is, transforming into a kaiju. Kind. No. It was just the normal humans that the machine, like, yeah. So he ends up, or they send a team out to retrieve those, if that's okay with you. It's perfectly fine. As, he walks away, or he walks to the entrance of that cave, and of course, every kaiju that was, like, is scared of him. Or actually, no, I take that back. They are scared of him. But he actually, or those creatures actually are, they stay away from it. So, yeah. And there was not very too many. There's only about 3 kaijus left. And, Nezu is like, okay. Of course, like, detective and policeman and or like they are loading up all of those things in like a truck all the way back to who like the lab thing. So to get cured. And yeah. Or to get break free. So yeah. They of course he was like, okay. Of course he remembered all of that. Then there was because the creature or like the kaijus like them or no like them can change their genders. So yeah, Zuko didn't have that ability. Only when he got older. Like so yeah. As because he's permanently a kaiju thing. Like he's yeah. So Zuko is crazy. Yeah. So now Nezu's teaching him how to like write and speak before because he telepathically tells them that. Yeah. So he uses his voice and yeah, he does all that stuff. As he of course Zuko was of course Nezu was like, looks like is getting back into his usual self. So yeah, now he is 15. He's in class 1A with like Momo, Jiro, all of them. Sorry if I'm going up and down real quick. So yeah, when Momo, who got a lot of education thing, but she wanted to become a hero, but she was mostly worried about the kaijus, the more will show up thing. But the she applies and yeah, she goes to UA and with all the other UA students and heck, Endeavor is still being a suspicious or no. Sometimes he thinks about Zuko because Zuko or he Endeavor things in his head of why did he not go berserk on any of us except for a kaiju unless he as Ingo just smacks him out of his back of a head. And, like, you're talking about my son, right? That's what Ingo is saying to Endeavor. As Endeavor knows that can read her, or he can, or she can read his thoughts. So yeah, it's weird. How does your son not go super berserk like the others? So there's only 3 kaijus. That one, and that one left. So yeah, as he says, or of course Nezu says, well, it's Zuko, can I trust you? Yep. To take these 3 losers out? Yeah. As he's so confident, as he transformed into a kaiju, and he's tracking them all 3 down, as he ends up going full on bananas on them. Yeah. Like ripping out the core of them, and yeah. Zuko, who had 3 cores of those, and all of the, as he's literally eating like all 3 of them. So yeah, as he's getting more bulked up. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry. He was probably like really buff. Like, but it's like eating, or he says it's just like eating avocados. This is not sponsored, by the way. But so yeah, Zuko 15, as his stomach was acting weird when he went back into his human form, as he goes to the bathroom, tries to poop it out, but something was coming up out of him as he threw up. Yeah, and it was a egg. Human-sized egg. Like, it's not like these guys. No. There's a kaiju eggs. Just like Godzilla from, I think, 2014, or it was the one that, like, the kaiju, or no, Godzilla stepped on a guy, or not guy, but the guy went right between his toes. Yeah. Imagine those eggs, the ones that are at that stadium. As, yeah, he vomits it out, as he's like, oh, what did I have? As he literally went and texted Nezu Nezu is like walking down, and he sees this giant egg in one of the bathrooms. As he looks at, or he first looks at the egg, then he looks at Zuko, then he looks back. Yeah, he's like confused. Like, what just heck just happened? Well, I was using the bathroom, and then it after I was done, then it came out of nowhere, like came as he's literally showing like him as yeah as he as Nezu says, this is interesting. So, and remember when I said like kaijus can like be gender bent thing, like they can change their genders? Yeah. Well, when I said he was getting older, he does that. So, yeah, a lab came, or no, he, or they went to a lab and, yeah, they found a kaiju who, in, with, like, it was Mothra. I'll just say that. As it was Zuko, who basically shot out the Mothra. They could, or he can change like. So yeah, Mothra, and then like even heck Godzilla and like all of them. So Nezu is like, okay. As, of course, Class A students were like, okay, are you feeling okay? Yeah, I'm okay. But something, yeah, or Eraserhead took Zuko to the bathroom to make sure that he's okay. But yeah, he saw a giant egg formed right in front of his eyes. As he's like, okay, okay, yeah. As he's coughing out, like, oh. And, yeah, he was only 15. And his bulkiness, he actually, yeah, he's slowly becoming the king of kaijus. Or, like, kaiju man. Or kaiju king of it. So, yeah. Zuko is pretty crazy. As Mountain Lady's like, sheesh. As, yeah. So, the government asked Zuko if he can come in and explain what kaijus can do. As he walks in and he says, I hope that they are not going to shoot me or anything, okay? No, they won't shoot you. But just tell me, or just tell us that, well, after all, I am the kaiju, so you can ask me any question. Okay, how about the produce thing? The, well, it's it's weird, to say the least. Oh, sorry. He says it's weird to get asked that question, but the kaijus, like myself, can reproduce asexually, and yeah. So the government is like, okay, so you're saying that you can reproduce by what? As he says, by switching genders. See, the us humans, or I, as he's thinking if he was human or not. As he said, you're human. And yeah, Inko, or actually, he told him that Zuko, or no, that us humans, or you humans, have the, you have to find a mate to do it. But compared to us kaijus, like myself, can do it when hit certain age. Like we can produce a lot of eggs. And speaking of that, as his stomach's acting up again, as, yeah, the government's like, oh crud, oh crud, oh crud. As, yeah, the doctors basically laid out a mat as he, like, does that. And the next one was actually the kaiju of him. Him. So, yeah. And he, or they, like, pat on his back. He still throws up, like, that one. Or, like, they're in their eggs. So, yeah. But they are technically would be his children's. Yeah, and that. So, yeah. Mothra in this what if would be his daughter. And those three would be his sons. And like, but of course, the government says, so you're saying that you can reproduce with yourself, not find a mate, right? Yes. Because I'm a kaiju. Oh. I used to be born as a human, but now I'm a kaiju, and it's awesome in some parts, but the not so great. Like, you have to eat a lot of meat to order or fish to stay alive. But actually, and you get some weird traits. Oh, too. So yeah. So Nezu says, okay, so because he was there, so yeah, with Midnight and Sir or Racerhead. Yeah. So this really, yeah. So he, of course, now Razorhead says if you have to, there's a little egg room for you to, hey, as yeah, if your stomach does that, yeah, as the like Momo who is thinking, like, who's this kid's quirk? So yeah, Tenya, in this what if Tenya's brother didn't die from Hero Killer Sting, but yeah, he still lives, so he's still trying to figure out. As yeah, so there was 4, and then over years have passed. He became. He produced 6,000 of eggs. That's a lot of eggs coming from one body. So yeah, so Eraserhead says Zuko here is Zumi's brother. As Bakugo saw him, and he is like, oh, my old friend. I didn't recognize you at first. So, yeah. Then he also explained why Zuko, who, as there's some tapes here, or one of them, I believe that your father, other Bakugo, turned Zuko into this. As, yeah, Zuko remembers what it is. So he puts it in, and, yeah. When they were watching, like, a movie thing, Zuko, Bakugo was so scared, or they couldn't, was upset because, yeah. And, yeah. So he says that's why. And if you see Zuko, like, or if you hear the Zuko's stomach thing, the egg room is right over there. But I'll show it before we go to USJ. So, or actually, All Might say before we go to there. So when they entered through, of course, Momo is so ready to see, but when she saw that, or when she saw how many eggs Zuko produced, yeah, she's like, okay. As there was a little, like, meter thing, there's like 4 about the temp and how many are there? There should be like 2. And yeah, when they looked at that, they were like, what the heck? thing. 6,000 million trillion billions of eggs from this one guy, as he points to, as he's a little bit embarrassed, but his sister, Zumi, says, no, brother, don't worry. It's not your fault. As they're like, what do you mean? So, yeah. Ochako saw how many eggs? As they all, like, looked at Zuko. Sorry. They all look at Zuko, and they're like, and then they look at back, and they're like looking at both ways. They're like, whoa. You produce all those eggs from your body? Yes. As Eraserhead says, because kaijus, all of them have different, no matter what gender they are, they can produce. It's not similar to us humans. As Ochako's like, whoa, okay, so, or everyone had that. They're like, okay, so, what do you mean by not produce, or like, or can produce without finding a mate thing? Well, we believe that the kaijus have these genetics things that allows them to do it. So, yeah. Then, I'm skipping the heroes versus villains thing. Yeah. Then USJ, I'm skipping that. Because, one, it's boring, and villains who didn't follow All for One ended up joining the heroes. So, yeah. Then, yeah, so, Sports Festival, Zuko. I'm skipping all that normal cred because it's similar to canon, but all the villains, there are actually only one particular was All for One, and he wanted Zuko's power, so he ends up like not kidnapping. He actually tried to steal Zuko. And of course All Might had their battle, and All Might was knocked unconscious but Zuko came in his monster form, punching the snot out of All for One, tearing him to shreds and ripping his quirk out and crushed it, and keeps punching it. Yeah. Zuko is one who doesn't mess around with. So, yeah. Then he transforms back into a child thing, like that. Helps All Might up, and, like, they. Yeah. As Bakugo's mom is like. They couldn't believe that her husband took Zuko as a test subject. So she whacked him on the head like what she did to Bakugo. And yeah, she knows that she does care about Zuko and Inko and all of them. So yeah, they do lab experiments and yeah, on him and dodgeball and like doing all that stuff. So yeah, he's still like he grabs his toy before. Yeah, and like him and his sister always plays around. Yeah. So Ingo sometimes when he like tries to here it comes as they had their own egg room thing actually designed because when their or her husband and is a scientist, so yeah, he basically built that. So yeah, Zuko is one who doesn't mess around with. Yeah. Now this is the probably, and I'm skipping the overhaul fight thing, and the kaijus that were in it listen to Zuko really well. Like they don't even have any problems. And they can take on human appearances. As Zuko taught him how to speak, write, and think. So yeah. And the hilarious thing, between Momo, or actually, between Momo, Jiro, and Mina, and Chaco and Invisible Girl, we're trying to think about who to date thing. So, yeah. Momo says, well, I think Jiro dates Denki. Yumina hates the redhead. And she actually says their names. And probably you, or probably Invisible Girl will date probably that Tails owns, or Nee. So, yeah. Momo says I'll probably, as Ochako and Momo are like doing that like rock paper scissors as to see who will get married to Zuko, because one of them asked because they know that the, of course, the frog girl would, of course, her parents, frog girl's parents, is thinking in their heads of who will they date. So, yeah, Ochako, they said, okay, Ochako, how about you? Are you gonna get married to Zuko if, as she's blushing, she couldn't believe that someone's asking her to date Zuko. So, yeah, she says after seeing how many eggs that he produces, come on, it's just for, as, yeah, Ochako, was, says, okay, fine. As, yeah, because Class B does the same thing. Like, all the girls things. Like, the big hands girl, size girl, and mushroom girl, and pony, and the girl that separates herself, and creepy girl. Oh, and does the same thing. So, yeah, Class B students and Class A students are like trying to. So, yeah, if Zuko as. So, yeah. Who would you ship with, like, Zuko? Would it be. Is it A, her, B, her, C, her, or D, her, or who will you ship in from Class B with Zuko? Tell me in the comments below. On that side note, I am doing all that stuff. So, yeah. And because, so, yeah. Because it was kind of hilarious. For just in this what if, it was Ochako. Or no. Yeah. No. Let's say, because I was gonna put Ochako with Bakugo, so it would be hilarious. Yeah. And put, like, Momo with Todoroki and the Mushroom Girl with Zuko. Or, and I don't have the Mushroom Girl's pictures on here, so yeah. Zuko is dating her, and yeah. Or actually, no. I'll just stick with my original one of Ochako got married to Zuko. So, yeah, they can produce, or that's twice as fast. So, Ochako got a child that has is like her powers and Zuko's. Yeah. And because Zuko's had also telepathy thing, like making, it's basically like making Ace. So that's what I'm throwing Ace in here. So yeah, that's what Ochako and like Zuko's child was, Ace. So yeah, but she doesn't mind the kaijus as much because he are her brothers and sisters. Yeah, so Zuko's, or actually all those kaijus that came out of Zuko was actually her brothers and sisters, Aces. So yeah, so yeah, they. Oh, Ochako was like, yeah. So, yeah. So this is the end of the video, and I'm leaving it up to your imagination of it. So there's a lot of questions of who do you want to ship with Zuko? Who do you want me to do next? Would it be, what if Zuko was probably a Mushroom Girl, or what if Zuko was in like Seven Deadly Sins, or if he was in the One Punch Man. It would be quite hilarious in One Punch Man universe. So yeah, leave them in the comments below, please, and hit that little bell and subscribe and do all that good stuff. So bye bye.